I thought that I would make a video talking about my personal story with asexuality and realizing I was asexual, etc. No one ever explains what sexual attraction is. And that's such a big problem because for a lot of people who are asexual or on the ace spectrum, they don't realize that this is a thing. They think that when people talk about sexual attraction, they mean something completely different, or it's just an over-exaggeration. I think for me personally, I generally thought that sexual attraction was looking at someone and thinking they were pretty. That's what I thought sexual attraction was. Like when I was 14, 15, and my friends started to talk about sex, I always kind of didn't want to listen. I just didn't understand why it was such a big deal. I didn't understand why we needed to talk about it. I've kind of gotten over that now because I think it was more confusion than thinking that sex was gross. Now, when I realized why I was confused, I'm much more cool about talking about sex with my friends. Like, I'm generally the person who will high-five you for your slutty behavior. And I mean that in a very positive way because I don't understand why slutty is a negative thing. I think it's great, and if you want to do that, you should go ahead and do whatever you want, and I want to high-five you. Just go embrace your slutty self. It's awesome. But back then, I was very confused, and I didn't feel like talking about it. And I remember the first time I heard the word asexual was in 10th grade, where one of my friends was talking about sex to me, and I was like, oh, can we not talk about this? Because here's some pretty, like, graphic words, and I was just like, I really don't feel like listening to this. And then he was just like, Clara, I think you might be asexual. And at the time, I got very offended. I thought it was like an insult, but I found out later that he was generally just like, hey, I think you might be asexual. But like, the reason that I got offended was because I didn't understand what it was. I thought that asexual meant that you thought sex was gross, and I generally don't think I've ever thought that sex was gross. It's always been this strange thing, and I'm so cool with everybody else doing it. The only time I'm actually repulsed about it is when I think or talk about it, when it's something with me, myself. I read smut fanfiction. I'm clearly not completely repulsed by sex in general, but that's what I thought that asexual meant. I thought it meant that you thought sex was gross and it's not something you wanted to have. So I was just like, no, I'm not asexual. However, I remember the day that I realized I was asexual. I was at my computer and I found a post on Tumblr that said that asexual didn't necessarily mean that you were grossed out by sex. And like, it generally just explained it so well. And I don't think I'd actually really considered it before reading that post. But when I read it, I started crying, like so hard. And it was like this mixture of relief that I now knew what was wrong, like why I always felt so uncomfortable when I thought about sex myself, and why I was so confused when other people talked about sex. It was like suddenly it all made sense, but I also started crying because I did not want to be different. I would be lying if I said that I was proud and happy to be asexual the minute I found out. I think it took me a few months before I reached that point. The reason I did end up becoming proud of my sexuality was through the internet and finding other people to talk about it, and YouTubers who were asexual. I saw so many videos. I think if there's a video about asexuality on YouTube, I have definitely seen it because I watched so many videos the first couple of months. And it was those videos that made me accept and be proud of who I am. Putting faces to other asexual people and understanding that they're just regular people. They're just a different sexuality than some other people. And that's the reason why I decided to make this channel. Because I want to help other people who are just realizing that they're asexual. I want to help them accept themselves. Since I am a person who has the opportunity to speak up about asexuality, I almost feel like it's my duty, but like, that doesn't mean that other asexual people have to talk about it. I'm just saying that me personally, I don't care. I don't mind talking about it. Actually, I think it's kind of cool to talk about it. So that's why I made this channel. And yeah, there will be more videos to come in the future. If you like this video, click the like button and remember to click subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!